Hey guys, good morning. It is 8 o'clock here. Well, not quite 8 o'clock yet in the morning. I've been up since 6. Anyway, I figured I've been working on this same dish rag for days, for like 3-4 days now, because I've been really busy around the property, mowing and gardening and things like that. So I thought this morning, I'm out here, it's raining today, which is fine. It gives us a moment to not have to do something and rest, because I got me some sun. I got a little bit too much sun, I think, and I can't wear a bra. So you get this, I can't wear a bra because I got poison ivy in my shirt and I'm allergic to it, and it got in under my bra area. So yeah, it itches really bad. So if I don't have anything touching it, it's fine. Anyway, so I gotta tell you something while I finish this row. So there's been, all right, I don't know how many y'all out there, have to deal with people as far as like repair services or for, anything like, you want somebody to come clean your carpets, or you need somebody mow your lawn for you, or you need somebody, to do repairs for your house or things like that. You have a hard time trying to find dependable, honest, people to do this. Well, since we've moved here, we didn't have really that problem in other places that we've lived. Since we moved here, we became very accustomed to being, and I shouldn't say very accustomed to it, but we have found basically the armpit of, or maybe Satan's armpit of people that you can't depend on. So, long story short, we're going to go to the other day. Through all the things we've been through since we moved here in September of 2019, we have become extremely jaded towards repair people, all kinds of fun things. The only thing we've been lucky with: tree service, gutters, not so much, partially windows. Champion, hands down, we love Champion windows. I'm not getting paid to say this. This is just our personal opinion about that. Anderson windows, yeah, they can fly away. But, so anyway, but what I'm getting to is, we also like to purchase and do stuff as local as possible. So we like to support local businesses over, big corporations. So when we moved here, we bought a lawnmower from a local repair place, and it was okay. We got what we paid for, it was very upfront with us about that. On the writing, sorry, but man, I balled this myself. What is going on? Why is it being like this? Anyway. Oh, Sally. What do you hear? What do you see? It's okay. It's okay. Leave it. Sally. Sally. Leave it. Leave it. Good puppy. Leave it. Good puppy. Leave it. No, leave it. Sally. Leave it. Sorry. Yes, Pika, good boy. Yes, Pika's over here sitting up like, I did good. You're a good puppy. Yes, you are. You're a good boy. Good girl, Sally. Okay, you're a good puppy. Anyway, I balled this myself, and it's It's got its own yarn barf in there. See, I miss yarn barf from skiing so much, or skein so much. Sorry, Becca. that I had to include my own yarn barf in my balling. Anyway, let me go back to this. So we like to keep things local. So anyway, we purchased a lawnmower. Well, then, so we purchased a lawnmower for a gentleman in a local town, in a neighboring town, and things were fine. You know, I mean, it was what it was. We didn't know anybody else, so, and that was the only place that we saw a sign in the yard, and then there was mowers sitting out front. So we gave the guy a chance. And then, so anyway, and then we had gotten a push mower. We had bought a brand new push mower. Well, we bought it from Walmart. I wouldn't suggest buying push mowers from Walmart, but anyway, we bought ours from Walmart, and the first year we had it, it worked great, but the second year it just petered out. It didn't work well, so we needed it fixed. Well, we got a hold of the repair guy, and he traded us the lawnmower for another lawnmower, and we gave him some cash to make up the difference, because the one that we gave him wasn't self-propelled, but the one that he let us have, or sold to us, or traded for us, was self-propelled, so we gave him cash to make up the difference. Did we get short-sticked? Probably, but, you know, it wasn't that big of a difference. So then, you know, that was that. We decided we weren't going to do business with him anymore for other reasons. So I'm shortening this up as quickly as possible. So anyway, so let's fast forward to the next situation. So I was online in our community Facebook page for our town, and this kid, he was wanting to start his own lawnmower repair business. And he was looking for anybody that had lawnmowers or wanted to have any repaired or anything. And he was looking for either donations or jobs. And I asked him if he was interested in a pressure washer, because he said he was. So anyway, we gave him the pressure washer, and he came and got that. And then we built up a relationship with him about things. And we wanted him to repair our mower, the one we bought from the other gentleman, or trade bought. And then, how do I put this? Okay, so I don't remember if we gave him a mower too. I don't remember that part. I don't know. No, we did not. We were wanting a tiller. That's what it was. We were wanting a tiller from him. But he couldn't find us a tiller. He found a tiller, but he couldn't get it to work. So, and then we asked him if he could repair our mower. Here recently, we asked him if he could repair our mower. And him and his dad and his brother came out, looked at it, and his dad was like, oh, you know, we can take that off your hands, and then for $50 and this mower, you trade us this mower and $50, and I have a self-propel Husqvarna at home that is a really good mower. And I'm like, oh, okay, no problem, you know, that sounds fair. So he goes, you don't have to give me the money right now till I bring back the mower. It's like, all right. So he goes, well, I'll be right back with it. All right. So they left with our mower, and I went and got the money, and we were sitting, and they came back, and they had a Husqvarna mower. However, it wasn't the one they described, because he said he had two of them. He had a rear wheel, and then he had an all-wheel self-propelled. Well, what he came back with was the all-wheel. Okay. So he goes, well, I'm not going to charge you extra for the all-wheel. He goes, because, you know, we were in agreement that we'd trade for the other one, but that one there's not running really well, and I don't really want to give that to you. I want to give you something that's good quality, you know, good quality that we that we know works really well and that we stand behind it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so they were showing us something. He goes, what do you think of that? And I'm like, that's a monster. I mean, and it's a big mower. It's a big push mower. It's very heavy. So anyway, he said that, you know, they stand behind their work, and that if we have any issues, all we gotta do is get a hold of them, you know, and they'll make it right if there's anything wrong with it. Okay, that's fine. As long as we didn't do anything to it, you know, like run over a tree stump or something to that effect. And he went into a story about one of his clients that they bought a mower from him and ran over something and bent the shaft, and then he was wanting them to replace it because it was messed up, and the guy changed the oil in it and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh. So he was like, so I wasn't going to refund him or give him anything back for that, because, you know, or do any free repairs, because he did it, and I understand that. And we were all having this conversation. Well, so then they got the mower. They showed me that the mower was running and stuff, and they showed how it worked. And then I handed him the $50, shook his hand, and he goes, and I said, no problem. And he said, if you have any issues with or anything, just let us know. All right, no problem. So, so then it started raining that day. It was raining, and so we couldn't mow that day. So we put the mower in the garage. Now, when we got the mower, he says, oh, I'm sorry, there ain't a lot of fuel in there. He goes, so you'll have to put fuel in it. Oh, okay. Now, we gave him a mower with a full tank, but, you know, that's splitting hairs. So anyway, I can't crochet and tell this at the same time, obviously. So anyway, we put it in the garage, and we still talked to them about it. And they said it probably needs a new spark plug, or you'll have to check the spark plug or something. Maybe there's something, you know, that gapped or something, because it was having trouble starting. But it would start. And I was like, man, it sounds like it's flooding out. And they're like, no. They took the air filter off and checked. They said, no, it's not flooding out, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, but they did get it started, and I tried it, and that thing will drag you across the yard. So you got to be really careful with it, right? So anyways, like I said, raining, so we can't mow. So we put it in the garage, left it in there a couple days. We got busy doing other things, didn't mow the front lawn for a while. Randy went over it with a 0 turn, so I didn't think about it. And then I was busy doing other things. Excuse me. And then so, not day before yesterday, but the day before that, he decides that he's going to get the mower out and try to see if he can drive it. Randy did. So he gets it out, opens the gas tank, needs gas, puts gas in it, fills it all the way up, checks the oil, everything's good to go. Starts it, goes and mows. Well, he didn't put a whole lot in it. I'm sorry, he didn't fill it all the way up. No, he put some gas in it because he just wanted to see if it would how it goes, because it's self-propel, and if it goes too fast, he can't follow along behind it. So he put some gas in. My bad. And it started right up, and he mowed a couple strips. He's like, I can't do this. It's pulling me across the yard. I can't do this. I'm like, okay. So he goes, I'm going to go ahead and fill the tank all the way up, so it'll be ready for you if you want to mow. I said, well, I'm not going to be mowing anything today. I can mow tomorrow. He's like, all right. So he goes, well, I'll just fill it up and put it in the garage. You can fill it. I said, it'll be ready for you tomorrow. I was like, okay. Sorry, there's somebody over there. Anyway, so he put it in the garage, filled the gas tank, put it in the garage. So the next day, I go out there, and I mow all the property, all of our property. And I thought, well, since Randy's in the house resting, I'll go ahead and do all the mowing and trimming. So I went in the garage, I got the push mower out. I tried to start it. I pulled on it, pulled on it, pulled on it, pulled on it, pulled on it. It would not start. I'm like, what is going on? And I didn't check the oil. I didn't check the gas because he had filled it, right? And so I checked the oil and it looked fine. And I was like, okay, I don't understand what's going on. And so I came in the house a little later and I was telling Randy, I was like, I've pulled that thing and pulled that thing. I can't get it to start. So he goes out there and pulls it and it starts. Oh no, I take that back. My bad. Yeah, it did. It started. What the? I'm sorry. I get ADD. Anyway, he pulls it. He starts it. I'm like, are you serious? So I go out there and I do a small patch of yard. Probably not even the size, not even half of my deck size. I mean, just a small area. Maybe the size of a large dining room table is what I mowed. And it started going, bogging out. I was going, whoa, and I'm like, what is going on with this thing? So finally, and I thought, well, maybe it's because the grass is too tall in this one area. And so I started to mow this non-chunky place. And I also thought maybe that it was clogging up underneath. So, I tapped the thing to see if any grass fell. No, and then, of course, it ain't going to have any grass build up in there because it's been serviced by these people and they clean them. They clean them all the way out. Like, they take it, everything. So there's nothing in there. Well, so when I was pushing it across short grass, it goes, and it died. And I'm like, that sounds like it's out of gas. There's no way it's out of gas. He was full. So Randy goes, well, open the gas. So I did, and it was bone dry. I took the lid off, and I looked in there, and it was totally bone dry. I'm like bone dry. Like I think there was like a little puddle in the bottom. I'm like, what the heck? So anyway, and I was like, all right, fine, this is crazy. So I went and got the gas can and filled it all the way. We filled it all the way to the top. Closed it off. And then gave it a couple seconds and then started trying to pull it. It wouldn't start. And then it just reeked of gasoline. I'm like, what the heck's going on? So we're pulling. I said, it totally sounds flooded. So, smells flooded. It just acts flooded, So anyway, so then, Randy goes, well, let's just let it sit for a minute and then we'll try again. Oh, all right. So we went and was doing something else, came back, and it still stunk like gas. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And why is this dripping? And I took the air cleaner off, the air filter off, because it was dripping out the air filter. So I pull it off, and the air filter cover is full of gasoline. The air filter is soaking wet with gasoline. The carburetor is totally full of fluid from the gasoline. I'm like, and it's dripping, drip, 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 drip. It's not dripping from the fuel thing that goes in like this. It's dripping somewhere. It's not, it's weird. So I'm like, what is wrong with this thing? So I took a video of it and everything, and I took pictures, and I sent it to the people that we got the mower from. And I said, hey, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Can you guys fix this? Because this is what's going on. And then he was like, what's going on with it? And I explained to him that we did how this worked from the day before. Explained everything to him. And I said, we haven't used the mower since you guys dropped it off. And this is the first time trying to use it. And it's running fuel everywhere. And then, so I waited for his reply. While waiting for his reply, I pulled the dipstick out on the oil, and I tested, smelled like oil, so that wasn't it. And so it wasn't in the oil, so it wasn't doing that, which that's a good thing. And then, but we're like, why is it dripping fuel everywhere? So we left it outside in the driveway. And then Randy goes, I don't understand. He goes, I don't understand what happened to all the other fuel that was in there. And I looked in the garage, and there was a dark spot on our garage floor. So where it had been sitting. So I went in there and I rubbed my finger, and it smelled like gasoline. So that means the entire full tank of gas that he put in it the night before leaked out all over our garage floor. That's dangerous. And then now it's leaking another tank of gas all over our driveway. Well, at least it's not in our garage. So waited and waited, and the gentleman finally messaged me back. The kid did, and he said, "Can you take the spark plug off and see if there's gasoline in there?" And also, and I told him, I said I had already, and I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, Randy said he'll do that." I said, "Well," and I checked the oil. I said, and the oil smelled like oil. Well, then he messages me back, and he goes, "Can you check the oil?" And I told him, I said, "We can do that tomorrow. It's too late now." Randy said he'll check the spark plug tomorrow. And and then I said, in the same paragraph, I didn't send him an extra message. I said, also, I looked at the oil and I smelled the oil and it just smells like oil. There's no fuel in the oil. So, and then he writes me back. He said, "Okay, that's good." He goes, "Oh, by the way," he goes, "can you check the oil and see if there's gas, if it smells like gas?" What? Anyway, so when I was on the phone with my mom at the time, and she goes, "Maybe you should have wrote, I checked the oil and it doesn't smell like fuel." I go, I am not going to dumb down my conversation with somebody because they can't read. It ain't happening. Obviously, he only read part of my message because, he responded to about the spark plug part, but he didn't say anything about it. And then he asked me about the oil, which I had already just told him. But anyway, so he sat there waiting, and then I wrote him back, and I said, "I already checked the oil. It smells like oil." And he goes, "Oh, okay, that's good." Anyway, and so the next day, we messaged him, and my husband's like, "There's no gasoline in the spark plug area, and the gas tank is empty again." And he goes, "The gas tank's empty again?" I go, "Yeah." So anyway, my husband, he goes, "Well," he goes, "it sounds like it's the carburetor, and we don't have any plastic carburetors right now." So, and I go, "Okay, I'm confused." I go, well, I was under the impression, that you would take care of this if there was a problem. Your dad made it sound like, if there was an issue, that you all would take care of it." He goes, "Oh, we can take care of it. We just don't have the parts." He goes, "But if you want to go buy the part and stuff, and go order the part and get the part or buy the part," he goes, we'll work with you about it." And I'm like, "Wait, what? Excuse me? Why are we buying a part?" It's the conversation we had with his dad was, "If you have any issues with this, let us know. We'll take care of it for you. Our word, and all this stuff, because, we don't want to do you wrong. And this, we want to make sure it's running right for you." And it wasn't really running right when they dropped it off, because we couldn't get it to start right. And they didn't have a lot of fuel in the tank and stuff like that. Well, Randy was like, "You know what? Forget it. We'll just go buy a brand new mower, because we know what kind we really like." So it's like, probably should have just done that. But in the beginning of this whole push mower fiasco thing, back in 2019, we didn't have the money to get a new mower. So we thought, we'll just get a good used mower, because they do exist if you get the right people. So anyway, I wrote him back. I said, "Hey," I said, "No, never mind. That's all right." I said, "I'll tell you what, how about," now listen to me close. I said, "How about this? We'll give you this mower back. You give us our $50 back. We'll give you this mower. We'll bring it to you, even. We'll bring it to your house." I said, "Because we're just going to go to Jasper and buy a brand new mower." I go, because Randy said he's tired of the rebuilds. Tired of dealing with rebuilds. It'd just be easier to get a new one and be done with the crazy, with all the mess. And he goes, "Well, let me talk to my dad about that." He goes, and I'll get back with you. I was like, "All right." when he goes, I'll talk to my dad about that when I get home. I was like, all right, well, no problem. I mean, I'm not upset with them still. I'm not irritated. I'm not mad. I'm not like a little confused about some stuff, because I remember the conversation we had in our yard here in our driveway on the handshake and the honesty and the integrity and the we stand behind our work, and our word is our bond, and word of mouth is how we advertise, and we don't want to screw anybody over, that stuff. Okay. And then we traded our mower. That, by the way, he said yeah, we got it taken care of. They had something on backwards or whatever, and they fixed it, and it started right up, and they got it sold for more than $100. They got over $100 for it. I think closer to $2 or something. But anyway, so I'm like, huh? So they had already sold our mower. So I was like, so we gave them a mower and $50 for this mower. Now, all we're asking for is them to give us our $50 back, and they can have their mower. So that means they can fix this mower and flip it for a couple $100 or more, so they would be making out better because they already had our other mower that they sold. And now they'll get another mower back and get to sell it. And all we want is our $50. His response to us was, it's a used mower for a reason. It's a used mower for a reason. No refunds. My response wasn't what I wanted to say. The spiteful, put it this way, the spiteful bitch inside of me was like, but the Christian side of me was like, W-O-W. That's all I said. And I haven't said anything more to him about it. I am in total shock. It's like, are you kidding me? This family, this father and his 2 sons stood in our driveway and talked to us about integrity and honesty and stand behind their stuff, and their word is their bond, and we got to watch out for each other, and with everything going on in this world, la 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 la. The only people in that driveway that day that was speaking out the front of their mouth and being honest was my husband and I. Maybe their youngest son, but the oldest boy and his dad, apparently not so much. And here's the kicker. Their father does metal work. He does, like, not metal work, but he does building and stuff, like redoes garage or builds sheds and shops and things like that. And he asked my husband asked him if he still did that stuff, and if he'd be interested in redoing our garage, basically taking everything off the outside of the garage and then reskim it with like a shop, make it look more, it'd be basically a shop, because we have vinyl siding in our garage, and it's full of holes. It looks like Swiss cheese, because when you mow, people don't pay attention, and they're slinging rocks everywhere, and it goes and hits the vinyl siding and breaks holes in it. So anyway, and he was all for that. Oh yeah, and gave Randy the business card and all this other BS. And well, guess what? He lost that business too, because we don't want nothing to do with him. If you're that much of a liar about something like this, then we don't want nothing to do with you for anything. And the way I see it is, wow, no refunds? No refunds, dude? We were going to give you back your damn lawnmower so you could fix it and sell it. So, and you already sold our other one. So the way I see it, the refund, what are you talking about? Y'all can just piss off. So that's that part. It's not right. So, yeah, we're back to being jaded about people and their stupid honesty bullshit. I don't deal well with that. I'm not having a good time with it, and I'm being very quiet about it because, except for, well, right now. But he has a YouTube channel, and it's like, there's a, like I said, there's a spiteful bitch in me that wants to go over to his YouTube channel and blast him out. I'm not going to do that either, but I will say one thing. He's local, and he does advertise on our local page. And the next time I see somebody say, hey, is there anybody around? Does anybody know any good lawnmower repair people, or where I could get a cheap lawnmower or a decent lawnmower, used lawnmower? And I see those people's name pop up, I'm going to say something. And I'm going to go, well, it depends on who you are, I guess. But no, there isn't in this area. There's nobody. There's not a soul around here that is a reputable repair service peoples, because they don't. But I'm a half hour in, y'all, so I'm going to get off here. And I'm going to let you do your thing while I do my thing, which is basically going to be this today because it's raining. So I will go out and check my garden, though. So I'll talk to you guys later. You guys take care. God bless, and be kind to one another.